What's up, everybody? Joey Ryan. So listen, adjusting stacks to make them right is not just about adjusting doses. This is a very critical point for folks to get. Adjusting stacks to make them right and to make them work better also usually has to do with what else you're taking. So if you have a certain situation where you're taking a something that's cholinergic, right? You got some Noopep, some CDP choline, maybe a racetam in the mix, and it just doesn't seem to be working like it should, then usually after you've figured out doses, usually there's something else, and it's either a drug or a supplement. In a lot of cases, there's supplements that are interfering with the stack's capacity to do its work. There are a lot of supplements, when you look deeper into the mechanisms of them, that could be anticholinergic. They could be antagonizing a cholinergic receptor. They could be increasing GABA concentrations in a way that's a little excessive, and that thereby could be somewhat pressing on the brakes of cholinergic functioning. And a lot of people don't recognize this, and they sort of give up on stacks, and then they might end up in a situation where they're talking to me, and I ask those questions. They're not responding to a particular stack, and then later in the call we find out, oh, they're taking like high-dose pharma-GABA in the morning, or they've been taking an SSR or a serotonin agonist for 6 months, and that's got some anticholinergic properties. They've been taking Xanax, or something similar, and that's got some kind of pressing on the brakes of cholinergic activity to an extent. So then it's about figuring out, if you're prescribed a benzo, for example, and you're trying to make a cholinergic stack work the best that it can, well, then you're kind of in a pickle, right? Like, oh man, I'm not going to stop taking the benzo, right? Because that's obviously a little wacky and potentially dangerous, and you should taper, and then you got to figure out how to fix the autoreceptors on GABA and get GABA A working the way that it's supposed to, and get, I forget exactly where is it? Somewhere in the limbic system where GABA is actually produced, like where serotonin, it's the RAF nucleus. You got to find out where this stuff is being produced and, upregulate that. So it's hard to just like, all right, I'm not going to take the benzo anymore. So you're in a predicament where you then have to either taper down, change the dose a little bit so that you're still functioning okay, and then you can get the better response from the cholinergic. Most of the time, aside from the wrong dose and the wrong cofactors, the wrong dose of cofactors, right? It's other supplements or other drugs that you're taking that are interfering with the action of the nootropic. It's very critical to look at that. What it's going to take is you to actually look at take an inventory of what exactly you're taking, and then do a lot of research on it. Probably the best source for what exactly a compound is doing, all of the myriad of things, because a lot of compounds do so many different things, is Self-Hacked. Selfhack.com has a lot of information about each compound and what it's doing. It's got neurology, then it's got sort of how it might be working on blood sugar, and hosts of other things. So you sort of have to go and research that. Look specifically at receptors, whether or not a compound is messing with a receptor site, whether it's anti another neurotransmitter in any way, and then try to dial the compound back and sort of figure out how to ultimately make it play nice with your stack that you're trying to make work. Ultimately, I've also seen a lot of situations where, because people have read on the web that one thing or another is good for one thing or another, like, oh, ashwagandha is good for anxiety or something or whatever, that they're taking it in the background, and they actually don't need it. They don't need to be taking it. They can be taking something different that might work better, and they can remove that supplement entirely, and then boom, they get a response from the racetam CDP choline Noopep stack. Okay, it happens all the time. I mean, that's, the consulting that we do, the 40-minute calls that we do, we suggest stacks for people to take, and then we work with you to refine them. But a lot of the time, in the kind of Q&A part, because there's a part of the call that's like that, folks are questioning why certain stacks aren't working, and then we get a little further into their regimen and we find out that they're just doing something, mostly taking another supplement, looking into the mechanisms of that supplement and realizing it's actually preventing whatever stack that they want to work from working correctly. Okay, so you have to do that research, and you got to kind of think. Other things that could be messing with stacks usually have to do with general energy status, and that could be adrenal function, it could be blood sugar. You really have to look at that. A lot of folks crash around 2-3 p.m. not because of a stack being in or not having a stack or whatever. It's because their glucose is crashing, right? It's shooting up too high, and then it's going too low after that. Effectively hypoglycemia. And, fixing those issues is going to get you better results from nootropics. In a lot of cases when we talk to people, especially we really wouldn't get into that in kind of the 40-minute calls, because those are kind of, it's 40 minutes. We don't have a whole lot of time. And then some emails. But the business consulting that we do with executives and business people, we get into changing all that stuff, right? Because in order for nootropics to work correctly, kind of energy homeostasis has to be right. So look at that when you've got a stack that you think should work and it isn't. What else are you taking? Look at your other supplements. Look at your pharmaceutical intervention, medications. Research the mechanisms on a pretty robust data kind of site like selfhacked.com, so that you can look at each and everything that thing's doing to your physiology and identify where it is interfering with the stack that you're trying to take, and figure out how you can dose it differently or remove it if you don't need. A lot of people are taking stuff they don't need because they heard it was awesome somewhere, right? They heard it, they read it somewhere. Oh, I'm going to start taking that. People are, you kind of want to be minimal with supplements and only target what you need. I'm not taking all kinds of supplements every day haphazardly. I'm taking exactly what I think I need when I need it. And other than that, I'm not taking supplements. I'm getting it from food, right? You have to take that approach to everything. If you do and you think about things that way, that alone I think is going to help a lot of people get stacks to work better that aren't working now. Just that alone. Figure out what's interfering, get it out of there, fix your blood sugar, fix your adrenal hormones, fix everything else, fix test, and you'll get a lot better results from nootropics. Hope that makes sense, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. A couple specials this weekend. We got the Viking Testosterone Protocol, okay? Guys, this protocol will put hair on your chest, and maybe even literally probably put hair on your face. Raising tests will change your life as a guy. You age less, you feel different when you wake up, you're motivated to do things, your perspective on life is different. Instead of sort of being the guy with the tail between your legs in response to the world, you sort of want to take the world on. You're like, I'm this force in the world that wants to do this thing that I'm doing, or my thing, and everything's going to get out of my way. That's what it feels like to have a high test. Not to mention your libido comes back, your sex drive comes back, erection qualities come back. A whole host of things when you have high test. The coupon code for VTP is 68. Coupon code 68 takes like $34 off the Viking Testosterone Protocol right now. If you're into nootropics for 2-3 years and you've gotten some results and you pretty much are like, all right, this is cool, but I'm having some issues not getting stacks to work well. There's a lot of distinctions and ways to induce certain states on cue and things that you have to do and principles to essentially ascend to the 5 or 6 year mark. That's effectively known as the master class. When you're at the 6 year mark and taking nootropics, you're at the master class. It's an elite level place to be in terms of your experience with nootropics. We have a course for that. It's called the Nootropics Masterclass. And that course, with the coupon code 69 right now, is $50 off. $50 discount with the coupon code 69 right now with the Masterclass. Our 40-minute consults are discounted this weekend too. You just have to use the coupon code 65. It takes $10 off of it, taking it down to $65 a consult, normally $75. That's, hey, look, $10 is $10. I'm going to save you some money, especially now when everyone's kind of panicking and buying extra toilet paper and all that stuff. So something to think about. Last thing, launching Wednesday is Nootropics Ground Zero. It's a video course that's intended to take you from basically brand new Ground Zero to Nootropics to the Pro mark, which is the 3-year mark. It'll launch at $99 this coming Wednesday, but you can pre-order it right now. I'll have the link in the description for cheaper. You can pre-order it for like $30-something cheaper right now. Nootropics Ground Zero takes you from brand new, not knowing what the hell's going on, to a pro. That's the 3-level mark. Use those coupon codes: 69 for the Masterclass, 68 for the Viking Testosterone Protocol, 65 for the 40-minute consult, and go get yourself a copy of Nootropics Ground Zero if you're in that position. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. More videos to come this weekend. Talk to you next time.